Markets are dropping right before the FOMC rate decision. What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBit Solutions, and I'm here to remind you, don't get it twisted. You guys know that I want markets to drop. I personally believe markets are overbought and overvalued. I think that there's a complete disconnect between where our economy currently is at versus what the stock market is currently trading at. But besides that, yeah, markets are pulling back a little bit. Markets are de-risking. Don't get it twisted. You guys have to know, right? We've been talking about it leading up to this day. Markets were running up a few days prior because of the expectation of this rate cut. Markets are now pulling back just a little bit right before the FOMC rate decision. This is going to happen in the next 2 hours. I do plan to live stream it. And again, I've asked you guys before, just get this video to over 1,000 likes. I'm going to host the free live stream about 15 minutes before the FOMC rate decision. And then 30 minutes after, there's the FOMC press conference, which means that Jerome Powell is going to go live and answer analyst questions. This is a great time to just tune on in. I've made it very clear. This is not a time for beginners because, right now it might be like, oh, look, markets are actively dropping. Let's short the market. But then as we get closer to the FOMC rate decision, markets might begin to uptick. And then once the rate decision gets announced, we might see a strong rally. And then by the time Jerome Powell begins to speak, we might see a retracement because maybe he says something that's a little bit more on the hawkish side of things. Again, extreme volatility. Don't make impulsive decisions. Be mindful of your position size. And most importantly, don't be afraid to stay cash, right? You don't need to trade every single day, especially right before a major economic event. And today is one of those, okay? As of right now, yeah, markets are pulling back. I don't think that you should really be freaking out. And I don't think many of you guys should be surprised. We're pushing up for no reason, and now we're retracing for no reason, right? It's things were getting factored in advance before, and now markets look like they might be de-risking just a little bit. This is a very small move. There is some news that I think is worth talking about. Nvidia's down a little bit more today. But why? What happened during the pre-market session? For those that did not see, it's kind of unfortunate, but again, they continue to play green light, red light with Nvidia. So China has officially banned companies from purchasing Nvidia's chips. Nvidia has become a pawn in the US-China trade war. Imagine that. Imagine that you're such a large company that you become a pawn in the negotiation between two nations. And that's one thing that has been made very apparent is red light, green light with, are we going to allow Nvidia to do business in China or are we not? And it's honestly kind of sucks for Nvidia, right? Because it's the US and China that are leveraging really Nvidia, whether it can or cannot conduct business. It's unfortunate. Just wanted to share the news with you. As of right now, it looks to be some negative news. Who knows? Maybe 2 weeks from now, 4 weeks from now, they're going to say that it has the green light. We continue to experience this roller coaster of red light, green light for China and this whole trade war. It's complete BS right now. So, and I'm sure you guys have seen, if you guys are on Instagram, I'm sure all of your real estate friends that are encouraging you to buy real estate right now or taking out a loan have shared this for you. So I wanted you guys to get a little bit of a better understanding before the report of what exactly is going on. So what they're showing you is the 30-year fix and the 15-year fixed mortgage rates. So obviously the cheaper your interest rate is, the less that you pay in interest, right? The more affordable your mortgage becomes. A lot of you guys have seen that interest rates were at like 7 to 8%. It was historically speaking, kind of like more expensive to take out a mortgage because of how much you were paying in interest. Now rates are coming down. Well, why are they coming down? Because again, of what is expected to happen today. As of right now, there's a 97% probability that the Federal Reserve is going to be cutting interest rates by 25 basis points and a 2.3% probability that the Federal Reserve is going to be cutting interest rates by 50 basis points. The more that they cut, the more that it would benefit lower interest rates. And the lower the interest rate is, the less that you pay in interest. Therefore, the cheaper a mortgage becomes. So yeah, it does become more attractive to either take out a mortgage or to buy a home. No question about that. It should boost demand naturally. And that's why people have been so eager to get interest rates to be cut, because the less expensive it is to borrow money, the more likely we are to see our economy get boosted, because we've kind of seen a slowdown, right? With that being said, the big expectation today is 25 basis points. If you want markets to go up, you want it to be 25 basis points or even 50 basis points that the Federal Reserve cuts rates by. If you want markets to go down, it could be a 25 basis points or a pause. So again, why did I say 25 basis points for both? because it could already be factored in. So it could be the buy the rumor, sell the news. We don't know how the market's going to digest. And especially we don't know what Jerome Powell is going to say and how the market is going to digest what he says, right? Is it going to be hawkish or dovish, and how are the markets going to react? This is why I'm telling you, this is a good time to be paying attention and to watch the market, to learn. When you become so obsessed about taking trades to try to make 1% or 2%, you don't really give it much thought of what it is that's going on. So again, if you're a beginner and you're really trying to understand what's going on, take time, stay cash, and just watch and learn. Okay. So 2 hours and 20 minutes from the time I'm uploading this video, we should be seeing the FOMC rate decision. And then this is what we're currently at. So for those that don't know, we're currently sitting at 4.5, and it would take us to 4.25 after a 25 basis point rate cut based off of today's rate decision, if it comes in at 25 basis points of the rate cut. Other than that, it's a pretty straightforward day. Markets are dropping as of right now a little bit. I really don't care for this. I don't really think technicals are going to matter leading up to the FOMC rate decision. And the reason why is because it's just going to be extremely volatile from once things get factored in. Is the sentiment bullish or bearish, right? Does Jerome Powell say something that's hawkish or dovish? And I really think that those are going to be the key indicators that we're going to be paying attention to. Does he look like he's going to be willing to cut interest rates now moving forward? That could be bullish for the market. Or does he seem to still be trying to take things meeting by meeting, and he's still concerned about our current rising inflation? Because remember, cutting rates is inflationary. And if our inflation rate is already rising, then cutting rates doesn't really make much sense for the Federal Reserve. But because the labor market is so weak, it does support rate cuts. So that's the pickle that we're in. It's called stagflation. Feel free to look it up. So we'll talk a little bit more about this in detail. But remember, in 2 hours, which means at 2 p.m. Eastern time, or 2 hours before the market closes, is when the FOMC rate decision is going to happen. I will be live streaming it for free on this YouTube channel. And again, I would love to have you tune on in so we can watch the market react to this FOMC rate decision together. But I'll leave it up to you guys. I hope to see you there. I hope that earned a thumbs up. Don't forget, get this video to over 1,000 likes, subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, and I'll see you about 15 minutes before the FOMC rate decision so we can watch it together. I appreciate your time. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.